early in the second half. Kentucky battles back to go in front, and then from about the 7-minute mark, kind of a back-and-forth game from there. Assistant Coach John Robick moving in alongside to talk about Robes, what was certainly a tough meet, but I know Cal said after the game he thought the guys grew, and I thought they played with great passion.
Well, they did. Coach is on his way. He's stuck in traffic on Tate's Creek right now, coming from the office. But, you know, it's disappointing that we did not, pull out the win. You look at it, we really fought hard.
Mark,
tough environment.
13-minute stations, 13 minutes until this broadcast on the UK IMG Sports Network.
It was
next
play
time cue
here or there.
will come at 12 minutes until airtime.
Break to do a lot of good things. We executed really well down the end to get the 3-point shots. Just wish we would have pulled it out.
I saw Rick Stratton tweet this out last night. It's a great point that taking those, stepping up. This out last night. It's a great point that.
I thought that was good. Alex was terrific again. I mean, he was great. He was explosive and did a good job defensively, and there were a lot of bright spots.
I would. The turnover count was high, but majority of those came. I think 9. They had 9 at the second media timeout. So for about 30 minutes, you had 8. I thought they settled down after that first couple of breaks and handled things better.
Well, playing against Arkansas is like sort of playing against Louisville. You have to handle the press. The more they pressed us, the better we were. So the press in those 2 games did not hurt us. It actually helped us.
And more of the turnovers seemed to be in the half court than against the press.
There were a couple charges and a couple silly ones and unforced turnovers, and they capitalized points on turnovers and did a good job that way. They did. A lot were unforced turnovers that you just can't have happen, especially on the road when you're playing against the other team and the crowd's against you and other elements, that you're playing against. And I think they settled down. You look back at a loss and you try to pull out things.
So many individual plays.
You do, and there's plays that stick out. But the loss hurt our guys. It hurt us as a staff. And the players are off today, and we'll get back at it tomorrow.
And that's how it's supposed to be. You learn, and you hope you learn from it.
Well, you have to, and you have to learn quickly, and then that's what our job is tomorrow.
We need to get to a break. It's the Paul Miller Ford John Calipari Show. The Fan Outfitters hotline is open. We'll get to it in just a moment at 1-800-249-CATS. Via Twitter, send in your questions at UK IMG Network. We'll be right back on the UK IMG Sports Network. We are back and joined by Coach Cal to talk about the Cats till the top of the hour on the Fan Outfitters hotline at 1-800-249-CATS at Twitter, via Twitter at UK IMG Network. Get to a call here in just a second, but we probably heard Robes as you were driving in. Anything to add on your thoughts from last night?
Well, just what I liked is we showed fight. What I don't like, there were 5 plays that we gave them baskets. Just gave them to them, and in a game like that, you can't do that. And yeah, we went 1 of 2 down for free throws down the stretch. 1 of 2, 1 of 2, 1 of 2, 2 of 2, and you're going to lose, especially when they're going 2 of 2, 2 of 2, 2 of 2. Eventually, you're going to get beat. But we gave up some baskets. But what I loved is we fought, and we didn't stop playing, and we played with courage down the stretch, and we made plays to give ourselves a chance to win. And there were, we were stacked up against it. Now, there were plays down the stretch like, what? Did he just, what? And gave him 2 free throws and gave him 2 free throws. And so we were, it was an uphill battle, and our kids fought. It's the first step that I've seen us fight. So, and it's funny because if we'd have won in double overtime, any issues we wouldn't have been thinking about. And when you lose like we lost at almost an air ball rebound dunk at the buzzer, 2 guys just stopped playing. And wasn't just James now. Andrew stopped too. and they dunk it. Now all of a sudden it's the issues. I'm trying to look at this again and saying, all right, let's look at it in a different light, which is we fought like crazy, and I'm proud of what they did, but, we put ourselves in a hole on, like the play under the basket. They go and shoot a layup. Guy missed it. We get up 3. Guy stops playing. Guy pops out and shoots a wide-open 3. James Young at the end tries to steal, and it's an and one on Willie. Well, the guy couldn't shoot the ball. He was a driver. Why'd you do that? See, freshmen make those kind of errors. Communication errors, just they're not focused on what they've got to do, and that's the kind of stuff that cost us. Again, we start the game with 7-8 turnovers. Come on. In the second half, we had 4 or 5 turnovers. It's the same team. So what are we doing to start the game to have that many turnovers? The press didn't bother us. The pressure didn't bother us. I mean, again, we gave ourselves a chance. The thing that's funny, they're a jump shooting team, and they shot more fouls than we did. Now, you think about it, how many layups did they really shoot? How many post-ups did they really shoot?
Yeah, Portis got 2 or 3 baskets.
But they were all jump shots.
Jumpers,
yeah. And so the rest they were a jump shooting team that got to the line 41 times. You don't see that very often. But again, they made 3 more free throws than we did, which means they win the game.
Let's go to the Fan Outfitters hotline. Joseph in Louisville. You're up with Coach Cal.
Hey, guys. Hey, Coach Cal. I'm a huge fan, and I'm not one at all to complain about the rest, but I thought the first half it was horrendous. The attempted steal by James Young as Arkansas brought in the ball. It was all ball. Point versus block. It was all ball. The one thing I see, this team is not getting outplayed. We're dominating, but it goes back to the most fundamental thing is shooting free throws. As the 2012 team, how many games did we win by our execution behind the free throw line? And I think that those close games are
let's just stop for 1 second before you go on. They made 3 more free throws than us. We're going to the line and making way more free throws than the other team in a normal game. Even if we miss a lot, we're still. So that's an issue. But I'm telling you, it's not the overriding issue just making free throws. It's not. I mean, as an outsider looking in, you say, boy, if we made 90% of our free throws or we made 8 more percent, well, you're going to have some guys shooting that aren't great free throw shooters. What happened to us? When James Young goes 1 out of 2, 1 out of 2, 1 out of 2, and Julius goes 1 out of 2, 1 out of 2, and their worst free throw shooter goes 2 out of 2, their Portis kid goes 2 out of 2, you're losing space there. So at the end, it may appear that way, but I think if we guarded and didn't give up the 5 or 6 easy baskets where we just stopped, we still would have won the game. Still would have won it. But again, we start off with turnovers, and there are things that we could have done. So I'm not going to sit here and blame the officials. The game now, I'm going to tell you, was really physical. And that's why I was disappointed on Jared's call, where they were calling fouls on Jared. The game was so physical. Jared doesn't have the physique to foul. I mean, and believe me now, you're giving them 2 points. They called 2 fouls on him on the little kid that doesn't miss free throws. The kid got 4 points on those in a tight game. So, but the game was physical. I thought a lot of it we played through. Some of it we didn't. We had our guards on the back. They're laying on their backs. Well, you got to create the contact. You can't avoid it. So that it's either a foul or it's an and one, but we're still learning that.
Joseph, thank you. We need to get to a break. We'll come back, get to more of your calls on the Fan Outfitters hotline or via Twitter at UKIMG Network. This is the UKIMG Sports Network. It's the Paul Miller Ford, John Calipari Show, and you can reach us on the Fan Outfitters hotline. The number is 1-800-249-2287. That's 1-800-249-CATS. Via Twitter, you can reach us at UKIMG Network. JT tweets at that address. My question is, what is the team's offensive identity, and do they still play as individuals too much?
No, from what I'm hearing, we're the most efficient team offensively in our league.
Yeah,
of all the teams, we're the most efficient.
Top 10 in the country. In
efficiency, yet we still hold the ball a little bit too long. So that tells you, well, what if we just got rid of it and no ball stoppers? See, a ball stopper, what happens is the ball's moving, it comes to the ball stopper, and he got to bounce it or hesitate so he can make his own play. No one wants to play with that guy at any level of basketball. So it is, you're prepared to score when you don't have the ball and prepared to make a play, make it. Or if you're not going to make a play,
move the ball,
pass it. And we're still learning that. But that being said, we're still the most efficient team in our league, in the top 10 in the country. So when you say it, all right, well, where are we defensively? Well, this last game, what did they shoot from the floor?
Under like 38?
37%. They shot 37%. They only made 3 more fouls than us. They're the first team in all year that shot more fouls, and they're a jump shooting team. I don't know how that happens, but they did. They shot more fouls than us. They only made 3 more fouls than us. So then it comes down to they made a bunch of tough twos. We missed the Dakari tip in, the Julius just basket lefty. I can still see some of the oh my gosh, how did he miss that? And you just come back and you have to look at this again. How about you look at this? It's a double. Andrew plays, and James plays on the weak side. We rebound the ball. We go to double overtime and win. Now how are we approaching this?
Tough place to win.
What a great win. We're really good. We're getting better. Our defense held them to 37%. We had some turnovers. We out-rebounded them by 18. But you lose on, think about it, missed shot dunk because 2 guys stopped playing. And now it's like, I'm telling you, I'm looking at this. I went through this 2 years ago when we lost a bunch of close games, and all of a sudden we got it together at the end. We went and did our thing at the end of the year. And I'm looking at this thing right now, and there are 2 or 3 teams that are a little bit better than everybody else. That's it. Everybody else, you're in the bucket. Here we are. And so, again, we'll show them tomorrow 5 plays that in a close game, this is why you lost. To tell me why you did that. Tell me why you stopped right there. Tell me why you didn't communicate. Tell me. And when they look at it, you say, if those 5 plays, if 3 of them don't happen, we probably win by 4.
Yeah.
But they all 5 happen. You stopped. You didn't communicate. They got it. And that's what they don't understand. The other thing is there are times you're not going to drive it all the way to the rim. It's not high school anymore. There's not a 5'8" guy back there. So you got to pull up and shoot some jumpers. And that pull-up is like an 8-footer, 12-footer. And I'll be honest with you. You looked at Arkansas. They didn't drive it all the way to the rim but a couple times. The rest of the time, they just said, we know we can't get that off. We're going to shoot a foul line shot. Now, they missed some of them, but they made some tough shots that normally people don't make against us, and we're out running. But press didn't bother us. They couldn't press us, or we were scoring baskets every time they pressed. So they ended up just playing in the half court, and every time we drove, it was body to body. If Julius caught it, chest him, push up, whack a little bit. But again, we had 17 turnovers, 2 at the end. We had most of them in the first half. The second half, we had 4 or 5 turnovers.
Yeah. Chase in Louisville, you're next up on the Fan Outfitters Hotline.
Yeah, hey, Coach. So first of all, I want to tell you I appreciate everything that you're doing here for the state of Kentucky, not only for our basketball program, but for the community service and the charity as well. So I'd like to thank you for that. And I would like to ask you about Dominique Hawkins. I noticed he didn't get a lot of play after that leg injury. I want to know if that was because of something he did wrong or if that injury was really bothering him. I noticed he went in just to give a foul late in the game. And I noticed we could use, more of his lockdown defense style later on.
Yeah, but here's what he's doing. He's fouling right now. So understand what a foul is. It's 2 points that they can't really score on us. And you think about Arkansas down the stretch. How many baskets did they make? So I'll tell you, the Jared Polson foul, kid made 2. There was a loose ball on the baseline. They threw it back and on Jarrett, that layup. The foul on phantom foul on James Young on the sideline. They shoot 2 fouls, and then they had the and-1. That was it. They were all foul shots. So he was fouling, and I kept saying, you got to give space. But I have all the confidence in the world in him now. He and Jared are vying for time. Jared last game looked better than he looked, so you play him. I tried to play Dakari this game. He didn't perform, so I went with Marcus Lee. And I thought Marcus Lee did some good stuff. So, again, we're still, there's competition here. I'm telling you who's playing out of his mind right now, playing great, is Alex. And for a coach, as much as he struggled, to see him do this just makes you proud of, here's a young man that was up against it. He never played like this last year. You can say, well, he made more shots or he made more. That isn't win. We could play horse. You have to compete, and you got to have some fight, and you got to be in great shape. He is. He's the dunking balls, and look at what he's doing. The biggest rebound of the game was the one he grabbed and threw back to James.
Yeah, that was a will-to-win rebound.
Unbelievable. So Alex now can continue to build on his game, because what he's done is he's established himself mentally as well as physically. He's in great shape, and he mentally now has a different approach. You're not trying to be out there just, or how can I not play hard? How can I get out of playing? He's out there just balling, doing a great job defensively, doing a great job rebounding. Like I said, we got some things to shore up, but this is a process. We did a lot of good things, but we weren't fighting. Last night we fought. In a game you had to fight. In a game that got physical, in a game that was body to body. And I thought we did some good things, and, down the stretch again. You think of the plays that cost us, free throws, and a couple breakdowns defensively.
Chase, appreciate the call. We are halfway home. It's the Paul Miller Ford John Calipari Show. We'll be right back on the UK IMG Sports